Hey everyone, welcome to this full moon Sidereal astrology forecast for the full moon on Monday, April 26, 2021. All right, so we have a full moon, the second full moon in Virgo, the maiden. If you're expecting me to say Scorpio just then, be sure to check out the link down below for more information. We are using the visible sky called True Sidereal Astrology, and it does change the signs from mainstream astrology. All right, so second full moon in Virgo. This is a great time to do a status check with how is and how has been our improvement-oriented side. Are we developing our routines? Are we developing good habits? Are there some good structures and habitual things we're doing on a day-to-day basis that is both good for us, our environment, and maybe our work and service as well. So Virgo is all about improvement and perfection, striving towards that, and creating those systems and structures to help improve ourselves, our environment, and maybe help others facilitate things as well. So with this, we still have a lot of fiery energy in Aries from this week, or from last week as well. There is this directness, this initiative and assertion that's certainly great to be implemented. So with all full moons, it's about balance. And so how can we do this stuff that does require structure and routines, but at the same time, really activate that initiating and assertive fiery energy? Finding some balance with this will be important with Uranus as well, opposite up to Uranus. So anything we want to break free from, make some sudden changes, just good to be aware of and do constructively there. And Saturn's squaring all of this. So there is this kind of more brakes kind of energy, like we put on the brakes a little bit. So it's good to still see that things might take some time and there's a longer term perspective, and it's good to be patient right now, I think, with this Saturn square. All right, so let's go and take a look at all of this as well as some of these other placements here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here is the chart for this full moon. So again, the full moon will be on Monday, April 26th, and the exact time will be 22:18 Eastern time of the Americas. So it will be the 26th and 27th, depending on where you are in the world, but for all intents and purposes, it will be around this Monday, Tuesday time period. And as you can see here, the constellations are different sizes. You might not be used to this form of astrology. If you are new, definitely check out that link down below. But essentially, we're using the visible sky. If you were to look up at the full moon, you would see it in the constellation of Virgo, not Scorpio. So definitely check out that link for more information if you're new to True Sidereal Astrology. All right, so let's just do kind of an overview of what a full moon is. An overview is about doing a status check. And in Virgo, this is how has been, because it has already been developed recently, these past couple months, let's say. How has our improvement and personal development and routine side been going? It's been very good to, previously up until last week, it's been really good to find more peace in our life with all those planets in Pisces that we had. To do things more important on a soul level and rest, and finding this balance between work and rest and doing and being. And so now that, we do have this fiery energy from last week now, where it is great to take action and initiative and some of that fire. I think now doing the status check to see, okay, how can we do that fiery initiating stuff, but also maintain our structures, right? Maintain our good habits, maintain our routines, maybe do our work and service, right? Virgo's all about facilitating things, facilitating the routines, the work, facilitating things for ourselves, for others, and almost automating things. But the automation happens through building of patterns, building of habits, building of routines. And so it's so good to be developing that kind of habitual routine, personal development, and facilitation energy with this Virgo. So good to do a status check with this. How is that improvement-oriented side of ourselves going? How are our habits and routines going? And maybe making some shifts and changes around this Monday time period to further develop these things, right? Further develop this Virgo energy constructively. This is the heightened energy of the lunar month. So now it is about implementing this stuff for the next 2 weeks from whatever insights we gain around Monday. And it could very well be the harvest phase as well. The full moon is the harvest. And so anything from the past 2 weeks that has come to fruition, just in general, great. But again, making some shifts and changes nonetheless to further develop this improvement side of ourselves. So all this is very much opposite a lot of planets over here in Aries. We could also include Mercury and Venus, but they're always close to the sun to some degree. So the most important here is, of course, with the sun. It's always a full moon is opposite the sun, but with Uranus here in fiery Aries as well. And so there is a lot of, again, this fire, but with Uranus, it is about maybe wanting some freedom, maybe some change, maybe wanting to, do things that are more important to us for our true self, or give us more excitement and more freedom. And so it's great to listen to that, but of course, with all oppositions, it's important to find that balance with these things. And if there is any over extremes with this, erratic, impulsive kind of energy, just being kind of mindful of that and conscious of that can help balance that out. But if it's not enough, if there isn't enough freedom, change, and doing what excites you in life, bringing consciousness to that can help raise that kind of energy. So teeter-tottering, a bit of seesaw, usually with oppositions, but finding that balance with that freedom-loving, eccentric, and true self side of ourself, I think is fantastic. So since this year, we've had Saturn squaring Uranus, so this full moon will be squaring up to Saturn, kind of putting a break on all of this type of energy. Just kind of reminding us that there is this longer-term perspective, right? Things do take time. Things do take, patience, perseverance, responsibility, right? This kind of stuff. So saying that it's good to be healthfully limiting ourselves. Now, not too much to where it becomes dense or heavy, or too realistic to where it becomes dense with this full moon, but to look at the reality of our situation or what we want to accomplish at this time and see it for the long term, right? Usually Saturn's about putting away short-term gratification for more long-term gratification. And although we may notice some restrictions or some delays or some limitations with this, collectively speaking, it is good to limit ourselves, right? To be patient, be disciplined, and see things through that's going to benefit us for the long term, right? So very important, very, very good to incorporate that kind of energy with this full moon. It really is this contrasting full moon where there's a lot of earth energy. Earth is more stabilizing. It's the Saturn, it's the Virgo, it's more stabilizing, it's more reserved. But then you have all this fire and electricity right over here in Aries and with Uranus. So it really is, I think, this mixed bag with the full moon of earth and fire, earth and air with the electricity, and just finding this way of, again, finding that balance between these two and how to incorporate both and maybe seeing the importance of both, right? We do need to have both structure and change, structure and excitement, structure and initiative and action, in our life. And I think this full moon is a nice step in the right direction with that. And just a good time to challenge yourself with implementing these things from really this year. This is the first square with Saturn, like I said. So in a sense, it's kind of the quarter point of that Saturn cycle of the year. All right. But yeah, and then Mercury, of course, is in Aries. So, how to improve, how to fix things might involve some of that initiative, fiery energy, because Mercury rules Virgo. So it's through the fire, it's through the initiative that we could be improving and refining things. Mercury's still very close to Venus. It does emphasize maybe some of this coming through our relationships. Could be good to improve and refine there, or work with partnerships there for improvement. But again, fundamentally about that personal development and improvement. All right, everyone. So that is the full moon in a nutshell. Most important thing is status check. How is this improvement side going? And how can we further develop this stuff like routines and habits? Finding balance with that and the more fiery and electrifying side of ourselves that does want to take action, maybe wants some change, some freedom, that fiery energy here with this. So finding balance between the earth and the fire. And then with Saturn, just kind of putting on our own brakes to see that, yes, there is a bigger picture thing, and it is good to be patient with things we do want to accomplish and see through for the long term. Not too densely, but constructively, right? Long term, one step at a time kind of thing. All right, so everyone have a fantastic full moon. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that like button if you haven't yet. If you're an MTZ insider, you're already getting this video first, but if you're watching this on YouTube, then definitely check out the link down below. It's a free newsletter to sign up, and you do get these videos along with other ones released first before YouTube. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for all of your support, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology update. Take care.